We do want to recap what we did, what Campaign for Liberty, really a few select individuals really spent a lot of time and a lot of work on doing, and that was creating something on the 4th of July that was totally awesome, totally educational, and really targeted the children, and that's really where our future is, obviously. But I want to bring up Cindy Sharretts to explain what happened on the 4th of July. And if you don't mind showing me some of the pictures.
Yeah, great, yeah. I'd say go for it. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Patrick's going to put some photographs up from the day at the Hayes House in Bel Air. And the main thing about this, I think, is we can find venues or events that are already going on in the community and be creative to then insert the principles of America in there, because we're the piece that's missing. And while we're not involved in these activities that are going on in our community with the purpose of promoting American principles, then a lot of other things are getting promoted. So look for opportunities with various festivals and different events. But the day was great. There were about 8 or 9 people from probably within this room, if they're not all in here tonight. We did it as individuals, not as an organization. And we approached the Bel Air Independence Day Committee to ask if we might offer some historical activity, maybe around the Declaration of Independence, etc. So we went through a process of it being a strange thing to the people who were involved with the committee. One of the comments that was made to me was, I don't know if anybody's ever asked us if they could do such a thing like this. So these are prime opportunities, in my opinion. And so anyway, a lot of preparation ahead of time. We did do 2 specific activities. One was writing the Declaration of Independence with a quill. Each participant wrote a short segment, and we put it together throughout the day so that everybody's piece was part of the finished product, and they each signed their name, and we added the signatures on at the end. And so it was displayed at the Bel Air Library. We requested permission, and were able to get that for 2 weeks. It's up through tomorrow. So I encourage you to go see it at Bel Air Library if you haven't already done so. And the people are taking a look at it, they're remarking about it. So it's just continuing opportunity to have a presence in the community and for people to realize, you know what, I never deal with the Declaration of Independence. I ought to look that up, things like that. The day of the participants being there, the various visitors to the Hayes House that day, was exciting and wonderful. It seemed like everybody was happy. They were enjoying being focused on these activities that are the right thing to be doing on July 4th. And again, I say 8 or 9 of us that were kind of working the event. It was as if we all just blended into the event and became this organism, I think, that was just working beautifully and ministering to people without us necessarily having figured out all the details. In other words, we all believed in it, we went with it, we were happy. The day was a beautiful experience for all of us, I think. Can you think of anything else on the 4th of July?
What else was going on the 4th of July about independence? I think that's an important point.
Well, I think we may have said this in the past, that the alternative activities for that day were things like watermelon eating contest, hamster races, bike rodeo, pancake breakfast, turtle derby, I think. So really, these were the activities that were focused on the reason for us celebrating independence and America on July 4th. And also, I want to say that the people at the Hayes House, which is the historical society in Harford County, were very pleased by this and have, of course, invited us to do more events. And so to me, it shows me that the society is prime for those of us who care about these things to creatively take little projects into different areas, and they'll take it. As long as we're building it for people, they're anxious to experience it, Dave.
Yeah, well, the first activity Cindy was describing was the construction of the Declaration of Independence by all these children. The second activity that you've been seeing on some of the slides was the construction of the Liberty Tree. And it was made out of cardboard. And then children would put on either tri-corner hat or the young girls a shawl, and they would pick a quote from the founders. And several words would be missing, and that was multiple choice, and they would pick out the correct word, and they would finish the quote, and then they would go up to the Liberty Tree, and to the other assembled children, they would read the founder's quote. And then what we would do would then be for 2 or 3 minutes to then discuss what is the meaning of that quote, in other words. So instead of just the turtle races and the frog jumping in Bel Air, we actually got down with a couple hundred children of what is the real meaning of the day.
Thank you, Dave. That's great. I forgot to even tell about the Liberty Tree. And where the children are, their parents are, or their grandparents. And so it's just a wonderful experience with the whole family, and it's something they'll get to talk about in common. So, based on just the success on that, I wanted to tell us about 2 other things that I would encourage any of you who have children or grandchildren or neighbors and friends who have children in grades 6 through 12 to check into 2 contests that are available that I believe are opportunities, once again, for those children to do some research in things that we care about in America and end up being part of contests, so they have incentives to work the project. And if they have parents or adults around them who are conservative or constitutionally minded or liberty minded, then it's a wonderful opportunity to guide that student through a research project that'll help the student find, yes, in history there really is documented proof that these are the reasons behind certain laws, or these were the reasonings of the various legislators that were involved in creating a law, or whatever focus the project is on. So there are 2 contests. One is called the National History Day. One is called Student Cam. Student Cam is being put on by C-SPAN. They do it every year. Both these contests are every year. If you look on their website, cspan.org, you'll poke around there. You can find the Student Cam, or you can go to the website studentcam.org. The theme this year, I think, is perfect. Can you hear me without me putting up that close, or do I need to better? Okay, thank you. The theme for 2012 is the Constitution and you. Select any provision of the U.S. Constitution and create a video illustrating why it's important to you. These are 5 to 8 minute documentary films, and they have to use some footage of C-SPAN. They have to show both sides. But can you imagine if across America, children of Campaign for Liberty attendees got on board with this contest, what kind of influence that would have across America? Because these videos are shown, and of course the staffs at C-SPAN that are going to be dealing with these are going to see an awful lot of liberty perspective of the Constitution if that were to happen. There are monetary prizes. By the way, we can't think up the projects for them or the focus of the video. The students must conceive their own topic. You'll find rules and contact information there. The deadline to upload the video is January, but there's a lot of work for a student to do between now and then. So studentcam.org. And the other one is the National History Day, but it's on several levels. In most cases, a student starts at the county level, and then the winners at the county level go on to the state, and then the winners at the state level go on to the national. Again, it's an every year contest. Maryland does have the Maryland level done by the Maryland Humanities Council. Hartford County Schools does not participate in the National History Day project. There are several other counties in Maryland that do not, or only one or a few schools participate. When I homeschooled my children years ago, they participated from Hartford County. So the people at Maryland Humanities Council are very desirous of having any students from Hartford County as well as anywhere around Maryland to participate. And the woman there, Judy, Judy Dobbs, whose name is on the website of the Maryland Humanities Council, is very willing to help anyone get through the process and make the connections if by that time Harford County has not taken it on in the school system. So that's another issue too. You could check into the Maryland History Day contest, the National History Day contest, and if you think it's something that the school system should be involved in, then let them know. But the theme for that this year is Revolution, Reaction, and Reform in History. So you can look that up through National History Day, do a Google search for that, you'll get on their website, and then you'll look for the state entity, and that's how you can find the Maryland Humanities Council. Feel free to contact me. One thing I would encourage all of us to always bring paper and pen to all the meetings, because you never know what you might want to jot down. But anyway, if you want to see me after the meeting, you're welcome to, or if you want to send me an email, my email address is cindy4america@gmail.com. And that's a number 4, cindy4america@gmail.com.
Can we show them a couple of videos real quick from the...
Well,
We got time. We got time. Ah, you're killing me. All right.
It really was an awesome event, and Cindy's casualness about how it went off belies the fact that she did a lot of planning and strategy and work to make it just totally amazingly smooth and wonderful. And even adults were sitting down to write part of the Declaration of Independence. So it was just phenomenal. So I just want to give her a huge hand.